Eyes of a warrior, Knights Templar, birth to death. You are born into a world that runs on oaths, iron, and God. Northern France, late 12th century. There is no childhood like you imagine it. Your first toy is a blunt knife. Your first lullaby is the sound of a blacksmith's hammer. Your father looks at you and sees a math problem. You're a second son. The land goes to your older brother. You get options. Option A, become a minor nobody and die in a ditch. Option B, put on a white cloak and rent your life to heaven. Welcome to the recruitment funnel. Your mother baptizes you fast. Infant mortality is the real plague. Your priest whispers that Jerusalem is far. He's lying. It's not far. It's a meat grinder with a holy name. You grow up in a stone castle that smells like wet wool and horse sweat. You learn 3 essential skills. 1, ride. 2, hit. 3, obey. Reading is optional. Praying is mandatory. At 14, you're a squire, a human tool. You polish mail, feed horses, and learn that honor is just pain with good marketing. You watch older men come back from the East with scars and stories. They don't talk about glory. They talk about heat, thirst, and bodies. Then the rumor reaches your village. A new kind of warrior exists. Not a monk, not a knight. Both, at the same time. They call them the Poor Knights of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, short name, Templars. They started as 8 or 9 French knights led by Hugh de Payens, swearing to protect pilgrims on the road to Jerusalem. Late 1119 or early 1120, a tiny startup with a violent business model. And the branding is perfect. Their headquarters is linked to the Temple of Solomon on the most sacred real estate in Jerusalem. Patch 1.0. The rulebook goes live. A startup needs investors. The Templars get one of the biggest influencers in medieval Europe, Bernard of Clairvaux. He writes propaganda in monk language. This is a new knighthood. Not killing for pride, killing for God, a spiritual rebrand for violence. Then comes the legal stamp. Their rule is officially sanctioned at the Council of Troy, 1128/1129. Translation: you are not a gang of armed pilgrims anymore. You are a papal-approved institution. Initiation: you sign your life away. You're not joining an army. You're joining a rule book. The ceremony is simple, terrifying, and permanent. You kneel. You surrender property. You surrender future. You surrender women, wine, dice, and ego. You swear 3 things: poverty, chastity, obedience. Infographic: salary, none. Privacy, none. Exit interview: fire. Your hair gets cut. Your name gets replaced by a title: brother. Your body becomes church equipment. Your boss isn't your lord. Your boss is the order. Above the order is the Pope. That's the cheat code. In 1139, Pope Innocent II gives the Templars privileges that sound like a modern VIP pass, exemption from local bishops, and a direct line to Rome. In the Crusader East, that kind of independence makes kings nervous and enemies jealous. Status system: knights versus sergeants. Inside the order, you are sorted. Britannica puts it plainly: 2 classes: knights, military aristocracy, and sergeants, the working backbone. If you're a knight brother, you get the white surcoat marked with a red cross. If you're not, you fight anyway, just with less prestige. Even holiness has a dress code. The seal: 2 men, 1 horse, maximum message. You see the order's seal: 2 knights riding 1 horse. It's a logo engineered to scream humility and brotherhood. Infographic, meaning we're poor. Secondary meaning we're united. Hidden meaning please keep donating, because every vow needs funding. Loadout: your body is a weapon platform. Your gear is not fantasy cosplay. It is medieval engineering designed to keep you alive long enough to die somewhere useful. Infographic, field kit. Helmet, iron bucket that turns breathing into a sauna. Mail, thousands of rings, heavier when wet. Shield, wood and leather, your portable wall. Sword, for close work. Lance, for the first impact when the horse is a missile. And yes, you have a warhorse, a medieval supercar that eats more than a peasant family. Your logistics are hay, oats, water, and prayer. Lose your horse, you lose half your rank. Daily life, monk schedule, soldier job. Your day is chopped into the canonical hours. You hear the divine office like monks do. You fast, you stand, you kneel, you sleep in a common dormitory, you eat together, quietly, like a factory line for salvation. Rules you learn fast. No gambling, no swearing, no drunkenness. Your biggest sin is not lust. Your biggest sin is thinking you're special. You are not special. You are standardized. The Holy Land where prayers get answered with steel. You sail east. The sea is not romantic. It's vomit, salt, and prayers to not drown. You arrive in the Crusader states, castles, dust, and constant tension. Pilgrims still come, still get ambushed, still need escorts. This was the original mission, protect the road. But the job expands. The Order acquires castles at strategic points and keeps permanent garrisons. You learn the real geography of the Holy Land, not Bible maps, supply routes, water points, high ground, places where men disappear. Battle is not heroic speeches. Battle is noise and fear. You form up, you lower the lance, you ride into a wall of bodies. If you fall, your armor turns you into a metal turtle. If your horse falls, you become a target with a prayer book. And still you do it, because your vow has teeth. Money, the poor knights who invented rich. Here's the paradox. You swear poverty, and then you guard Europe's money. Templar houses spread across Europe. Nobles donate land. Kings borrow cash. Pilgrims deposit funds in one city and withdraw in another. Even Britannica calls the Templars founders of modern banking. Infographic, medieval fintech. Deposit, coins at a Templar preceptory. Receipt, coded letter. Withdrawal, in the Holy Land without carrying a fortune on your belt. Translation, you're a sword with a ledger, and that ledger makes you dangerous. The turn, when your reason to exist disappears. 1291. Acre Falls, the last major Crusader stronghold in the Holy Land, is gone. The battlefield you trained for evaporates. You return west. You still have castles. You still have land. You still have immunity. But now people ask a deadly question. What exactly are we paying you for? Rival orders envy you. Clergy resent you. And a king in France looks at your vaults and sees a solution to his debt. His name, Philip IV. His weapon, paperwork. Friday the 13th, the raid. October 13th, 1307. Not a superstition yet. Just a date that becomes a meme 700 years later. Philip IV orders the arrest of every Templar in France and seizes their property. You wake up thinking it's a normal morning. Then the door breaks. You are not killed. You are processed. Chains, cells, interrogation. They don't accuse you of being rich. That would be too honest. They accuse you of heresy, blasphemy, and corrupted initiation rites, denying Christ, spitting on the cross, idol worship, and worse. The charges are designed like a trap. Spiritual crimes justify physical destruction. Infographic, trial meta. Evidence, confessions. Method, pressure. Outcome, predetermined. Your white cloak is now a target painted on history. The Grand Master, your face of doom. At the top sits Jacques de Molay, last Grand Master. He joined the order in 1265 and becomes Grand Master in the late 1290s. When the arrests happen, he is taken too. Under torture, he confesses to some charges. Then he retracts. That retraction matters. Because in this system, changing your story is not honesty, it's relapse. And relapse gets you fire. March 1312, Pope Clement V suppresses the order. Not because politics cares about nuance, but because politics is the final boss. You are now unemployed in the worst way. Death, when the oath finally ends. March 18th to 19th, 1314. A commission condemns de Molay and other leaders to life imprisonment. He retracts his confession again, publicly. So the sentence updates. Final patch note, execution. He is burned that same afternoon in Paris as a relapsed heretic. You can smell it from the crowd. Smoke, tallow, wet wood. A lifetime of discipline ends in a few minutes of oxygen. Your own end is quieter. Most brothers don't die on a stage. They die in prison or fade into other lives, or return home as broken men with a ruined brand. But your story gets upgraded into legend. Myths versus reality. Update your database. Myth, you guarded the Holy Grail. Reality, you guarded roads, castles, and balance sheets. Myth, you had secret magic. Reality, you had papal privileges and logistics. Myth, you were destroyed for the truth. Reality, you were destroyed by debt, envy, and an opportunity. Final infographic, your life as a Templar. Name, Brother of the Temple. Start date, the day you swore poverty, chastity, obedience. Main mission, protect pilgrims, fight for the crusader states. Uniform, white surcoat with red cross, if knight brother. Power source, papal backing plus discipline plus castles. Cause of collapse, politics after the fall of Acre plus royal pressure. Key date, October 13th, 1307, mass arrests in France. End state, suppressed 1,312, leadership executed 1,314. You wanted a holy war. You got a holy audit. And the scariest enemy you ever faced was not a sword, but a signature.